Would you like to be treated by a doctor who's gone through extensive education and training, or one who learned the profession from crib notes and is now ready to go to work on you? Would you like to have repairs done on your plumbing by a person who has just seen a video about his profession, or one who's gone through an extensive program of education about his profession? It is the same with those who mean to inform their neighbors about what is going on in America today. It's fine to try and get a person to see a video, but even better if they try and get them to read about a subject. Reading allows people to gain the full knowledge about what is really going on in America today. Our forefathers, during the time of the rebellion, read. Things back then were simpler. They weren't distracted by technology. They sat down and read the information at hand. Reading gives the person time to think. There is no pause button except in one's own head. The benefit of reading is that you can take time to absorb what you've read, perhaps even reread it, and then continue on. There is a place for reading and a place for video. For instance, I know that you are looking at a video now, and we are always asking you to like, share, and subscribe to our social media platforms. This is to get the word out. The John Birch Society puts out a lot of videos, along with our affiliates, reaching about 4 million people every month, and that's fine. But the real depth of knowledge comes only through reading. Where do you think the people who do our videos get their information and education? Through someone else's videos? Of course not. They gained their knowledge through reading or personal experience. Believe me, you do not want to gain your knowledge in today's world by personal experience. It can be very rough. Studies have proven the benefits of reading. You can learn so much about a subject. You can then take that knowledge and speak to the issue in depth. Talking about a subject to someone may work if you have seen a video, but depending on how in-depth the video goes, will gauge how in-depth your conversation can go. Your best bet is to be well informed. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have to get others interested in this battle we face. In order to win, we have to build a resistance to the Marxists and organizing people on a national scale. As John Adams wrote before the Revolution, liberty cannot be preserved without a general knowledge among the people. Adams also said after the Revolution, but what do we mean by the American Revolution? Do we mean the American War? The Revolution was effected before the war commenced. The Revolution was in the minds and hearts of the people, a change in their religious sentiments, of their duties and obligations. This radical change in the principles, opinions, sentiments, and affections of the people was the real American Revolution. The real American Revolution Adams was referring to began with a national organization called the Committees of Correspondence. Leading up to the Revolutionary War, there was an exchange of ideas and information between the Committees of Correspondence. Communicating through reading and writing was essential in organizing and mobilizing the patriotic resistance. This is the pattern followed by the John Birch Society, a national education program with an action agenda, nationally done so that everyone is working off the same page with the same agenda. This is what gives us the strength to wage and win the war for the minds and hearts of the American people. The better informed you are in this task, the more effective you will be in enlisting more and more people into our ranks. Only by reading can you accomplish the best you can be at this task. Yes, videos help. They can start the process of education and get people interested in learning more. But we need a cadre of well-informed people, and this can only be accomplished by reading. We are growing. We are winning battles, but we need to do more in order to win. Do not let the news media discourage you. The John Birch Society has never spent the time and money bragging about what we've been able to accomplish. And our members here and there are accomplishing much. Some say we will see a civil war in this country again. Ladies and gentlemen, we're already in the midst of a civil war. A war for the minds and hearts of the American people. We must arm ourselves as much as possible with knowledge and then apply that knowledge to growing our ranks. There are 8 books that I would recommend which are not necessarily current events, but which lay the foundation of a fairly good understanding of history and Americanism. They are The Law by Frederick Bastiat, The Foundation of Legitimate Government, The Federalist Papers by Madison, Hamilton, and Jay, a compilation of letters that these 3 gentlemen wrote to convince people to support the Constitution. Economics in One Lesson by Henry Hazlitt. Economics is not complicated, and Hazlitt demonstrates it. 1984 by George Orwell, an insightful novel of what we face today. Proofs of a Conspiracy by John Robison, outlining the problem with the Illuminati, the granddaddy of all communism today. To the Victor Go the Myths and Monuments by myself, which shows the history of the first 100 years of America you didn't learn in school. In the Shadows of the Deep State by myself, you need to understand the history and goals of one of the chief organizations of the New World Order, the Council on Foreign Relations. And finally, The Blue Book of the John Birch Society by Robert Welch. This is the founding meeting of the society and gives the reader the basis of our organization. If you're going to recruit people into the society, you'd better understand why it was started and its goals. We could have listed many, many more, but I feel this will give anyone a firm foundation to discuss the problems and solutions that are necessary. As for reading of the issues of the day, simply peruse shopjbs.org. Also, like, share, and subscribe to our social media platforms so you can help spread the word and encourage others to read also so that they can gain the full knowledge about what is really going on in America today.